Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to our weekly political program on Lagos television, The Pendulum. We are back as usual to discuss some of the trending issues in the polity. And this afternoon, we'll be looking at Gale of Defections in the polity as we approach the 2027 general elections. And when you look at the way and manner our politics is going today, it appears that the PDP is on the losing end. We have seen massive members of PDP decamping to the ruling party, which is the APC, and some people have criticized these defections coming from PDP into APC. So, what's the implication of all these for the polity, and of course, what shape is politics going to take in Nigeria as we look forward to another election in 2027? That will form the basis of our discussion on the program this afternoon. But before we start our discussion about the Gale of Defections in the polity, we'll take a very short break on the program at the moment to bring you some of the trending news in the polity. Stay with us. You're still watching The Pendulum on Lagos television. If you're just joining us, our topic for today is the Gale of Defections in the polity as we approach the 2027 general election. What's your view on some of the development that we have seen lately in our polity as regards defection, moving from one political party to the other, especially where things appear to be very juicy, which is the APC. We have joining us this afternoon, Chief Akonji Stanley Olutola is a member of the APC, and together we'll be having that conversation on the Gale of Defections in the polity. It's a pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I do know that you're a member of the ruling party, which is the APC, and lately we have seen members of the PDP moving en masse into your party in different parts of the country. What's your own perspective in all of these? Of course, I know you're going to sound selfish because this pendulum seems to be swinging in favor of your party. What's your take on all of this development?
Well, thank you very much for asking me that question. My take on it is one party state is not good. Okay. It's not healthy. It's not democratic. And but the situation we have on ground at the moment in current affairs is that APC is doing so well in the way they have laid down their policies and they are achieving it. And good politicians are beginning to see that it's a very good party to be in. And so for them to then, individual politicians, to go to a political party where they will feel like they will achieve more, is not in itself a bad thing. So I feel like eventually things will even itself out. Let me give you an example. You go into a supermarket to buy, say, a yogurt, and you're hearing that there's a new yogurt in the market, or there's a very improved yogurt that's been around for a while, and people are buying it. You'd be more inclined to want to buy it, wouldn't you? And so that's what I think is happening in the political spectrum at the moment. But we're hoping to have a good democratic system in Nigeria where other new parties may spring up with good ideas, achievable, and for the benefit of all citizens of Nigeria, or existing parties may regroup and become more competitive. That's what we would like to see.
Okay, so when you say that people are moving from other political parties into your party because you have good programs, you have policies, when you look at the situation on ground as we speak, in a couple of weeks now, the administration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the president of Nigeria today, will clock 2 years in office. And when you feel the pulse of Nigerians in terms of inflation, in terms of standard of living, in terms of their purchasing power, it appears to be nosediving, so to say. So I'm trying to see the connection between what you said earlier, saying that your party has good programs, and of course that is why people are moving from other political parties into your party. But when you feel the pulse of an average Nigerian, their answers seem to be contrary.
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. We have good policy under President
Bola Tinubu.
Bola Tinubu, and there are policies that have been achieved. For instance, student loan is a milestone in Nigerian education system, and we can't underrate that. A lot of poor, good students have now having the opportunity to go to university. That must be a good thing for the future of Nigerians. So I'm really grateful for that, and I think it's something to be very proud of the administration. There are so many other ways that I think the APC have achieved things. I know the fuel subsidy came in right at the inception.
Suddenly.
Yeah, which was not a good PR. But in that in itself, to be bold to take a step that you know that in the long run will be beneficial, I think is good, responsible way to govern a country. So initially, masses were struggling to make ends meet because cost of livelihood is rising. But gradually, when we're seeing how the administration is trying to look for strategic places to assist the masses, I think we can give them credit for that.
Okay, so I know you're widely traveled, and of course, you've been to different parts of the world. And then when you look at America, for example, we have the Democrats and we have the Republican.
Yes.
Likewise, the United Kingdom, where we have the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. So it will seem to be tilting towards a one-party state here in Nigeria, as we can see lately, because of the mass exodus of politicians into the ruling party, which is the APC. Where then lies the position of the opposition that is meant to put the ruling party on its toes for it to perform and, of course, do the needful to move the country forward?
Thank you for mentioning American political system and the British political system. I think if one was to really examine historically, there are times, I mean, at the moment, say for instance in America, the Republican actually almost like America is almost like a one-party state at the moment.
But the Democrats are there to check.
Yes, but in numbers, because when you're talking about democratic system, the Senate is full of Republicans, and so it's not difficult for the president to pass a bill. Whereas it would be nice if you have the opposition in places where there can be checks and balances. So occasionally in democratic system, unfortunately that's the way it is, that sometimes you could have a little bit of advantage in running the government, maybe because rather than blaming the ruling party for having majority, we should be blaming the opposition for not pulling their weight to become formidable opposition. And that's what I mentioned earlier on. Let us get the opposition to be formidable against APC, then it will become a healthy system.
All right, there are insinuations in different quarters. It's still an allegation anyway, that the APC, which is the ruling party, is actually the one sponsoring some of the crises that we have in Labour Party, that we have in PDP. Wike is the serving minister as we speak today, as a member of the PDP, yet is amplifying the programs of the APC. Have you taken your time to study the narrative? And of course, why would the APC allegedly now be sponsoring or be planting people in the other political parties for them not to have some kind of balance to face the ruling party or put it on its toes?
I'm not aware of these allegations. And obviously, even there are any allegations, they should be dealt with on case-by-case basis. So, and you get rumors, when you have a situation like this, you're bound to have rumors. So I'm not able to comment on that question.
Okay, so now that the APC seem to be having everything on roller coaster, you are just accommodating different kind of politicians. Ordinarily, those who have criticized the APC before, we know that Delta State is predominantly PDP. Edo State has joined the party as well. And there are insinuations that the governors of Enugu, Akwa Ibom might also ditch their party and, of course, swing the alliance into the APC. These are different characters. These are people from different backgrounds. Won't this create some kind of problem for APC at the end of the day? Because the thinking of an average politician is, where am I going to get my bread buttered? Now they have crossed into your party, and at the end of the day, if your party is not able to give them the ticket that they want or butter their bread, won't that create crises within your party?
It's a democratic system. A politician has the right to move. By the Constitution of Nigeria, a politician has the right to move from one party to the other. Now, when you're...
If there is crisis in your party. If there is crisis in
For
your party.
whatever reason, I think that the Constitution of Nigeria does not dictate to a politician to explain the reasons for deflection, because it's a democratic system. So a politician has the right to move from one political party to another. Now, let me address the issue that you're talking about. So if, for instance, somebody brings problem from one political party into APC, I'm sure we have good administration in the party that will be able to deal with issues like that. But we should allow people to make a democratic decision, a free will decision, because it's a free country, to decide whether they want to move from one party to the other. But if a party has internal issues, then the administration of that political party should be able to handle those decision or crisis, as you say.
I'm just trying to see the alignment between PDP and APC. If somebody was in PDP yesterday and now is in APC, the APC, like we've been told, is a progressive party, and that is not what the PDP stands for. So where's the connection between those that are defecting from PDP into your party?
Again, like I said...
Because you both share different ideologies.
Correct.
As parties.
You're right. Like you will have, like you've mentioned Great Britain or America, individual politicians, if they feel like they will be able to, because individual politicians, they have their own, ideals in their mind and hearts. And if they feel like they are not able to fulfill it in one party or another party, he's giving them the opportunity to fulfill that, then the door is open for them to deflect into the party that they feel that they'll be able to achieve their goals from. Now, it is possible that some people may be doing this for selfish reasons. Again, we cannot, fault that. But let us be sure that it's not a bad thing for someone to deflect from one party to the other.
Okay, we have both cited United Kingdom and United States of America. I hardly see politicians moving from one party to the other, whether you are the one governing at this moment or not. But that seems to be the order of the day here. So people have questioned at
Sorry,
different
with all due respect, they do.
But it's not the number is not significant like we have here.
It depends on the current affairs, or as you know, it depends on the state of play at any particular time in a country. So if the trend is pushing towards a certain agenda and the politician feels like one political party cannot fulfill one agenda as opposed to the other, they are free, like I said. The freedom of democracy allows them to move from one political party to the other.
Okay, you've been in this game for a while now, and people have also questioned the ideology and the mentality of an average politician in Nigeria. Is politics about service in Nigeria, or where your bread is going to get buttered? Because some of the people that are defecting now into your party, which is the APC, they are defecting because of their survival in 2027. Not because they love their state, not because they want to serve the people. They are looking for where they are going to survive.
So
do we have people with political ideologies in Nigeria, or people just see politics as an avenue to grab what is available?
Well, issues like that needs to be addressed to individuals that are doing that. So an ideal politician must be a politician from the heart, wanting to serve. That's the kind of politicians that we really aspire and we wish we could have in Nigeria. But if you have individuals, as you're saying, that individuals that are just, going from one party to the other to another to just get their daily bread, and that's a bit selfish. But like you said, we should be serving. We should be servants. We should have goals that we will declare during the campaign to our voters, and we should strive very hard to achieve those goals so they know that we're delivering and our heart is in the right place. So, that is it in a nutshell. So when you see someone who is lying about their policies or they're lying about their agenda, and they say, for instance, they manage to convince people to vote for them, and they come into power, so to speak, and they betray the people that they have promised. It's up to the people then not to give them another chance. And that's what democracy is about.
So democracy for you is the government, the usual definition that we have is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Correct.
But looking at this side of the world, it appears the narrative is not the same. The people were mentioned 3 times, and here in Nigeria, I doubt if the people are actually at the center of the policies of government, because the politicians seem to be doing their own thing, forgetting that the power belongs to the people.
Well, this is where the people will exert their power on the election day at the polling booths. Because they have that power at that time when they're putting their thumbprint on who they want to govern them.
Okay, so are you afraid that there is going to be some kind of implosion in the APC if the way and manner people are defecting into your party is not checked? Then how do you decide who is a member of your party? What are the qualities that you look out for before you accept people into your party?
That's what I said, that's internal administration.
What were the factors that were considered before you were allowed to join the party? Or you just got the form and voila, you're a member of APC?
I have not deflected. So,
but you're a member of the APC, that's what I'm saying.
The deflection process and procedure, I can look into that, but I have not deflected. I have been APC all along, but I can look into that. But right now, I cannot categorically tell you that this is the procedure for deflecting.
So people can just walk into the party secretariat?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I've not experienced it. But thank you for bringing that up. It's something that I'm going to look up to see the process and the procedure for deflecting from one party into the other.
Okay, back to the APC now, which seems to be the bride of the day now. The administration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to be 2 years in office in a couple of weeks. What are those significant things that you think are convincing enough for Nigerians to see that indeed we voted this man into office and he has done well, aside from what you mentioned earlier, which is the student loan, which is new in our system?
Yeah, I think governance, the rule of law, it's a good thing that we're achieving, making sure that we're all equal and that nobody is above the law. I think the administration has done very well in pushing that even more forward. And that's something to be proud of. Education, I know I mentioned it before, but education is core to the progress of a country. And if we educate our young ones, then we have a bright future for the country. And in many, many other ways, even though we've removed the fuel subsidies, there are a lot of empowerment programs that are being carried out by governors of different states, like in agriculture area, like in housing, like in road constructions, I'm sure the masses are seeing that. They're seeing the difference, and we're proud of that.
Otuma, are you aware that the masses are hungry?
I am aware that the masses
Because
are
some of these
hungry.
governors that you mentioned just now, they are getting more than what they used to get before Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president of the country. But we can hardly see what they are doing with the allocations that they are getting, and the people are not, they are not smiling.
Oh, no, Rome was not built in a day. We are making progress, and I think we should celebrate the progress and encourage the movement towards achieving that kind of dream that you've just mentioned. It would be nice in the future to see governors being more accountable and transparent. But we're doing the very best we can do for now, and nothing is instant. Situations like this, they do take time, and I think the future is good.
The future is good.
So about the masses that are hungry, the future is good, and individuals can do their best to try harder, and then to manage their finances more responsibly in a situation like this, because there's hope. There's hope that when the house is in order, everybody benefits. And
Isn't
we're
that the
moving
slogan?
forward towards
Isn't that the slogan of Mr. President when he was campaigning? He did promise that he was coming to renew our hope.
Correct.
But we're still
The
looking for-
hope is there. It's a bit like,
Is it tangible enough for us to see?
I think the progression of things, it is tangible. The speed of things is we can have opinion on it, yeah. But the substance is tangible. So, and I'm really proud that we're making progress.
So this Gale of Defections now.
Let me give you an example. So you have a family who is living in a house, and the house is leaking, right? And then the landlord comes and say, "Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to remove you into a better house, like in the next 2 weeks." Okay, that has not stopped the water dripping.
Okay.
But because the family now have a hope that in 2 weeks' time they will be rehoused, their outlook, that hope will keep them going until they're relocated. So the present situation has not improved, but the hope that something is going to happen in 2 weeks keep them bearing up until they get relocated.
All
So
right.
that's the situation with Nigeria at the moment. So we are hungry. We're not seeing things as fast as we want to see it. But because the government, the administration of Tinubu is giving that assurance and giving us that hope, we can look forward to it.
Okay. Before I ask you my final question, I'm aware we need to take a very short break on the program right now to bring you the soundbite of the week. Stay with us. We'll be back. You're still watching the Pendulum on Lagos Television, and I still have in the studio Chief Akonji Stanley Olutola, member APC, has been sharing his own perspective of the Gale of Defections in the polity as we approach 2027 general elections. Okay, so this Gale of Defections now, as we look forward to 2027, which is going to provide another opportunity for Nigerians to elect a new set of people to govern the country, to govern states in different parts of our nation. Does it give you hope that the chances of your party is quite bright in 2027?
Yes, I'm confident. I'm
Okay.
hopeful and confident.
What's giving you that confidence?
Well, as I mentioned earlier on, we're moving in the right direction. We are achieving things that we said we were going to achieve, and given the time needed to achieve, and given another opportunity in the next general election, we will move forward into achieving, if not all our goals, majority of it.
You think Nigerians will still be confident enough to give your party another chance to rule for the next 4 years?
I hope so. People are deflecting. So I know what you're saying, that politicians are deflecting for their own personal gains.
Instead of
But
taking
at
care of
the
the people.
Yes, but at the same time, it's because they see that the party is doing very well that they are deflecting. That's what we're saying. So that's a sign of good thing. You know, it depends on the way you want to look at it. But that's a good sign. And then we've mentioned quite a few things that the administration has been able to achieve and what they're setting out to achieve. So.
All right, Gale of Defections and the Polity is our focus once again on the program, and I've had Chief Akonji Stanley Olutola, member APC, give us different reasons why people are defecting into the ruling party, which is the APC, and confidently he said that he's very sure that Nigerians are going to give the party another opportunity to continue to govern in 2027. Whether that is going to be a reality or not, you have the vote, you have the power, and you can decide where the pendulum is going to swing at the end of the day. Chief Akonji Stanley Olutola, member APC, we thank you very much for your time on the program this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's the show today. We thank you for watching. We'll be back again next week talking politics as usual on the Pendulum. I am Ajibola Ojeshola. I'll see you then.